on this week's GTA 5 o'clock. Stimulus package news. The money is being sent out right now. What secrets lie inside Lester's apartment? Plus, we've got another GTA 5 goodie bag to give away, as well as details of Friday's livestream. It's all here on this week's GTA 5 o'clock. Hello and welcome to this week's GTA 5 o'clock. I'm James Jarvis. I am joined as ever by Dan Dawkins. Hello Dan.
Goodeth day to you.
Dan, we've hit 50 episodes. This is the 50th episode, the big one, the exciting one.
Party streamer.
Tiny party horn. Excellent. We've got quite a lot on today's show. We're going to talk about the stimulus package that should be hitting you about now and the new patch updates. We're going to have an in-depth look at Lester's house. There's a lot of things in there you might have missed. So we're going to go back through and with a fine-tooth comb pull out all of the details from that. We've also got live stream info coming at the end, and of course another excellent prize pack giveaway.
Yeah, a goodie bag full of amazing GTA 5 goodies, key rings, a little plush chop, Bugstar's key ring, lots of great stuff. You'll want to win it. So
let's crack on then, Dan. Straight up, GTA Online title update 1.05 has gone live on PS3 and 360.
Yep, sexy title 1.05.
That's right.
Sexy time fixes. Essentially, it's a security fix for the impending, if not actually now, stimulus package. What it does is, and this is what Rockstar say, it says built-in measures to prevent users from losing their progress when there's a cloud outage, which is one of the major issues we've had to this time. Built in a number of measures to protect players' cash balances, even if there are network problems. And it says fixed an issue where on rare occasions during network problems the player could lose their online vehicle or mods after exiting GTA Online. So essentially it's all about stability in order to make sure it's safe to give you your free money.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that have gone wrong.
We have had reports of the stimulus package they said in that update would be going live over the next couple of days after that update hit. That update hit yesterday, and we've had reports today already of people receiving the whole lot, then £500,000 at once, rather than two half £250,000, which originally was the plan. But obviously they've changed their minds.
Yeah, maybe they. I mean, you know, it would be slightly amusing and embarrassing if there'd been a mistake with the delivery of the packages. It could just be because they wanted to surprise people by dropping it all in one go as a little pleasant thank you. So that could be nice. And now, if for some reason you're having problems spending that money, which I doubt, we are planning a 10 best ways to spend your 500k stimulus pack cash video on the site. And if it's built by the time you see this, there'll be a link on screen. If it isn't, it'll be on the channel really soon, so please do subscribe to make sure you don't miss that video.
Absolutely, yeah. And well, since everyone is getting given this £500,000 cash, we thought we'd finally put to rest the blueprint question of when it has a big circle down at Polito Cove saying bring £500,000 cash down
yeah, no, the blueprint map, for those who don't know, with the special edition GTA 5, you got like a big fold-out map, and on the rear of it, you could expose it to a UV light to reveal these symbols. And one of them said, sorry James,
it just said bring £500,000 cash, and that's all it said. Now, we've obviously tried this in the single player game, but we thought maybe in the single player game, because you don't carry actual cash with you, you'll do it all on card transactions, that maybe it relates to multiplayer. So we took all the money out of our bank, walked down to the docks with £500,000
dollars, James.
Dollars. Got to there, Dan, and something amazing happened, which was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing happened at all. So obviously that's put that whole piece of clue or whatever it is to rest. Nothing happens.
We think so. I mean, isn't that the bay where you find the sub to find the nuclear parts?
Yeah. So it could be related to that.
It could just be related to that. We certainly haven't found anything triggered more there.
No. One other quick thing about online is that the cheaters pool, the thing that Rockstar said would exist if you started going in and messing with the game and being a bit naughty, actually exists. If you're in GTA Online, and you obviously shouldn't be doing this, but if you're glitching it into a way that you've started to spawn extra cars and you've started to gain loads of money by cheating your way to it, you actually are put into a cheaters server where you get a dunce hat on, all your money's taken away, and you can't play with other people. And when you sign in, it says you have been classed as a cheater. You now have to stay in this pool until you've been forgiven. You're classed as a bad sport as well. You do get to keep your cars, so you can drive around in a lonely server all on your own with just no money, and your nice car.
Ah, well, I like that, because that in itself is a comment. Because what value possessions without the exterior stimulus to judge or aggrandise them? So, again, if there was to be a zombie apocalypse overnight, or indeed some sort of biological outbreak, and I was to inherit all the world's riches, what good would it be without a man, woman or child to appreciate them?
Exactly, Dan. So, bottom line, don't cheat, don't glitch your way through online, because you will probably end up in the server and you won't be able to play with any of your friends. One last thing before we move on, Dan. The North Yankton DLC story that we covered last week on the show has been proven to be fake, like I said.
Yeah, we talked about it was a big leak on the popular GTA forums discussing apparently some code that revealed the existence of a single player piece of DLC set in North Yankton, which is where the game's prologue is set, and indeed, spoiler alert, a mission later in the game. We talked about it at length. I still think there's validity in the discussion, because what is unequivocal is that North Yankton is built in the game, and when you see it later on, there is in fact a map, there's other buildings, seems like there's more to explore than the game lets you see. However, as we discussed, I mean, I gave it like a 50-50 odds.
I think you said 70.
No, I said 50-50. And I said, like, I'm really on the fence with it, 50-50, but I did like some of the ideas and thoughts in it. But obviously, the nature of this leak seemed a bit suspicious, but there was something I thought was in it. You said pretty much 70% this is fake, and 100% it was fake. So you're the fake spot winner.
Excellent.
But I still think that there's something in North Yankton, and as I said last week, I still think that a really interesting piece of single-player DLC would be to go back in time to when Brad, Trevor and Michael were younger men performing their first heists. It allows you to create new environments, new situations. You could even have him meeting Amanda for the first time with his kids a bit younger. You could, all sorts of things that would be really exciting for setup, linking with old GTA characters from the past.
So if you're listening, Rockstar, Dan's got some good ideas.
Yeah, and just for the purposes of proving me right, start coding that now for release next week, please. Thanks.
Alright, so now we're going to move on. That's the news up top. Let's move on to looking inside Lester's house. Now, this is a thing we're going to, as long as you guys like it, and it goes quite well, something that we're going to try and do over the next couple of weeks, like really investigate some of the key environments from the game and pick out some details that hopefully you haven't seen before.
Yeah, because I think what was interesting is before the game was released, we used to make a lot about every single screenshot we would micro-analyse. And weirdly now, even though we've never had more information, we've got access to the entire game, such is the overwhelming volume of actual information at our fingertips, I think we've, for the purposes of sanity, had to screen it all out.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is sort of go back in forensically, looking at key areas and taking that same analysis we had in earlier shows, but to areas we definitely know in the game and what it could mean. So let's now enter Lester's house.
Yeah, now Lester's house is in Elbow Heights. You can see it here on the map, and as we go through the door and we get out our camera phone down, we have a quick look round, and the first thing we see is these newspapers.
Yeah, now the first one is interesting because Lester has drawn in red pen a UFO on the skyline. It looks like, it's black and white obviously, and the picture's very fuzzy. It looks a little bit like it's a sea area or some kind of cove, and the words are hard to read, but it's something like Explorer something Cry Cove or Cave. But it looks to me like it's like some sort of coastal area, and yeah, Lester's drawn a UFO there. Now, given what we know of actual UFO appearances in game, I'm not aware of a strictly coastal UFO, but there is the sunken UFO.
Yeah, that is true. There's the sunken one, and as we'll see as we go round Lester's house, there are more references to other UFO locations throughout it. So this could be a hint towards something UFO related.
Yeah, and our regular viewers will also know we talk a lot about the existence of dinosaurs in GTA 5, which dinosaurs are the new aliens, which were the old zombies, etc, etc. But this is interesting again because there is some credence within the game. The top newspaper, the sort of Los Santos Herald, is it? Yeah, it says a dinosaur fossil found in Los Santos Hood, which again, if you look in different areas of the map, there is like a dinosaur cafe sort of out towards Sandy Shores, and as we showed in the show last week, that was a clumsy turn of phrase, there's a dinosaur footprint amongst other clues towards dinosaurs in the game. Though we are yet to actually see a dinosaur, apart from in a quite brilliant but utterly fake video.
Yes, which we might have more on Friday during the live stream.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, anyone with eyes can spot this one, because it's the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati, nattily dressed for a party, it appears.
Yeah, this symbol and the Illuminati culture, I guess, is referenced a lot throughout the whole of GTA 5. It's referenced in gameplay missions. It's on a lot of things. The all-seeing eye, as we know, is at the top of the Mount Chiliad mural, which could also be in relation to the UFO. They're in it a lot, and this is obviously Lester getting really involved in it.
There's a big movie poster for Vinewood Zombie, which is a movie by Solomon Richards, who's the old movie mogul dude who gives Michael a lot of missions sort of midway through the game, and he gets a lot of pulpy stick, and this is one of them. A couple of other tiny things. One is there's a crate with like a bomb on it. I don't know the existence of a giant bomb in the game, but this is interesting later on because there's another crate with a far more telling symbol on it. Also, the computer seems to have some like big wires going into it from, I guess, what look like, almost like liquid containers. One looks like a gas fuel, and the other, looks like some sort of distillation. So is it that Lester's somehow creating electricity through organic means?
He's creating his own power. He wants to stay off the grid.
Okay, now we won't talk about it just yet because we haven't got the best view, but a lot of the newspaper clippings on the walls do relate to events from within the game. Okay, zooming in on some of the newspapers on the wall, there's obviously a big ad for a car, which I can't see which, but it looks like one of the in-game vehicles, which would make perfect sense. Interesting, to the sort of top left, you can see a headline, because these newspapers, he must have bought a lot of identical copies on the same day, because he's got the same newspaper headlines throughout his house. One is it's Prop 208, something cocaine we sniff. That's a little bit weird, I'm not quite sure what that means. The more interesting one is something that, it says something like locals choosing to live in tents on the rise. Now we wondered whether this was a link to the altruist cult, which has been growing, and the way they're living out up in the sticks, sort of beyond the military base. Down to the bottom right, upside down, is again a repeated picture of what we said was the cove, where we'd drawn a picture of a UFO. And in this picture we can see more clearly that it does in fact look like a sea area and like a little island of rock poking up from it. There's some quip about don't put something in the lion's cage, and a man looking quite sheepish. Maybe he's missing his legs, he's been savaged, or something we don't know.
So if we move a little bit more around Lester's house, we find the poster for Righteous Slaughter 7, which is the GTA 5 equivalent of like a Call of Duty first-person shooter game. You can see an advert on the website, and you can also see Jimmy playing it in Michael's house quite a lot. Yeah,
I mean, I guess the jokes are, first of all, it's number 7 as part of an annualised series. Call of Duty isn't quite that brash, but I don't even know what number Call of Duty is on anymore. And contemporary killing must surely be a riff on modern warfare. So there we go, but they've differentiated the branding enough not to be too naughty or problematic. There's some kind of script there as well with words blacked out, but it's just too tiny to read properly. Okay, there's also a magazine called Ram Rager. Seems to be a video game magazine because it mentions Righteous Slaughter again, and it says watch something back, Alien Prober 3.
Alien Prober 3 is one of my favourite games.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and in fact that alien looks quite a bit like the aliens that do appear repeatedly throughout GTA 5.
Yeah, we see him under the ice, don't we? And when Michael gets abducted.
Yeah, and when Michael takes a little bit of the special cigarettes as well, seems like not dissimilar to that alien. On his shelves there's a number of items, some loose leads, doesn't mean much. He's got a lot of books about surveillance and hacking. We can start to see some there, we'll look at some more closely in a minute. Most interesting is at the very top of the bookshelf, he's got a brand new video game console system.
Yeah, and if you zoom into it using a camera, you can actually see that it comes as a 720 console. It's got a hard drive and a controller and a headset and an Ethernet cable. So it's got all the things that you'd expect from a next-gen console. This is probably back in the time when we thought the new Xbox One would be called the Xbox 720.
Yeah, it's called the Exorb 720, and the X is big.
Yeah.
So, you've got to say that's seems like a pretty obvious link to the Xbox 720, but it's a nice touch.
But that'll be the one that Jimmy's playing in his bedroom, I'd imagine, when he's playing Righteous Slaughter.
Man, he got an Xbox early. Sat on his couch, there's another video game magazine called Press Start with another review of Righteous Slaughter 7. Not a great piece of cover design, I will say, as a man with experience. The first deadly review, which sounds like the sort of nonsense I would have written back in the day. And again, we've got the same two newspaper headlines. He's bought 1 million of them, and it's got explore something, you know, with a picture of the UFO again.
He has drawn another UFO on it, which is weird. Did he go around all of these newspapers just drawing UFOs on all of them?
He bought 1,000 copies and drew on all of them.
I mean, if there's ever a bigger hint that you need, then there's one right there.
Or possibly it's Rockstar repeating assets. We don't know. Okay, then we've got on the wall just a few random stickers like game over, it's throwaway, troll, yeah, pretty throwaway. The man is watching you, with again hints at surveillance and not unlike the Illuminati triangle. Now, most interesting is collection of action figures.
Yeah, we've got quite a few action figures on the wall here. We can see Impotent Rage and one of the Space Rangers.
Yep, Republican Space Rangers, 50% off.
Yeah, the one it's bargain. You've got a Brown Streak there. These are great action hero Brown Streak. And a Captain Space toy.
We've got the Princess Bubblegum or Princess Pobot Robot. Apologies, that's probably a quite a well-known GTA character. I just haven't looked it up. I think she appears in an extremely close to the limit video in previous GTAs. Brown Streak, there's no need for explanation there. Captain Space toy, nice and generic. Again, I think we see those in other videos. And then what do we think these characters are? The Baths?
Yeah, or the Borfs. They look sort of like characters from Little Big Planet. Like they've got giant heads and tiny limbs. But they seem to be quite prominent in Leicester's house. He seems to have a thing for them because later on we see them again.
Not much to note here apart from a kind of bearded Norse god character, which is the kind of fantasy stuff that men who lives in such homes love to lap up, apparently. We've got Defender of the Faith using retro fonts like the old Defender video game. We've got a calendar for September with a date ringed in the middle. Maybe he's ringed September this. Is that right? 14. Probably like. I thought he was ringing the date the GTA came out. But it looks like he's missed it. So,
oh, that would have been nice.
Unlucky Lester, that would have been a nice touch. Lester's desk with his computers doesn't actually yield that much. There is text on his monitor, but when you zoom in, it's largely unintelligible, quite fuzzy. You know, maybe someone could enhance the resolution and tell us if there's something we're missing. There is something that sort of says like zombie or maybe, but it's very hard to make out at the bottom. It could be, you know, us misreading it. Poster for Dragon 6, which looks a little bit like Dragon Age, but again, I don't know, or it could just be a movie. Okay, now this is really interesting. The two boxes, we noted the one with the bomb earlier on. This is a red one with our friend the Jetpack on it.
Your friend, I'm going to say, Dan, your friend the Jetpack. As this theory about the Jetpack rolls on further and further, I'm becoming less and less convinced that there is one.
I'm going to tell you now, when I get a Jetpack, you're not having a go on it.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I'd like to see video evidence of said Jetpack, and then I will, you know, I'll step back and say, look, you were right. There is a Jetpack in the
Exactly.
game.
Well, I look forward to that day. Until then, we can see a poster behind Michael, a just really obvious UFO. Accept the truth. I do. I believe, even if James won't.
Yeah, that's a reference to like the big, famous X-Files poster that Mulder had in his work office in the FBI that said, I want to believe on it, and it was basically exactly the same as that.
Okay, now we've got like a Borfs or Baths magazine or poster up in the top with their big domey heads. Alien Prober 3 video game again, with again a not especially inspiring poster. Another sort of conspiracy style magazine, Monomania, Why the Man is Still Watching You. He is, Lester.
Interesting.
Okay, where Lester's sitting, there's lots of paraphernalia. He's got a bottle of beer. There's the Daily Globe, a newspaper that appears elsewhere in the live active world of Los Santos. It's hard to make out the title because there's a VHS cassette on it. It says something prize, and a picture of a lady. Is this a E.T. something? I can't really make it out. And then you've got on his monitor, he's got his, well, a bank account open.
Yeah, he's obviously stalking someone or just checking how their finances are doing. And we can also see, if you go a little bit left to this screen onto one of his other screens, he's checking someone out on Life Invader.
Yeah, and it looks like James Smith, who, well, again, there's lots of photos of her. It looks like he's definitely interested in her, whether he actually knows her or he's involved in a little bit of cyber stalking. If someone wants to go in on Life Invader and try and find her, please let us know and send us the details to @GTAV or facebook.com/GTAV.
Moving around Lester's apartment, just to the right of those monitors, you can see he's got a big file on Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot, we know, has been long rumoured from GTA San Andreas and now in GTA 5 to be in the game. You get a couple of hints of him during a couple of main story missions, and then right at the end there's also a big Bigfoot mission that turns out to be a guy in a suit.
So you're willing to accept that this is a clue, but not the jetpack?
Well, Bigfoot has turned up to be in the game, so yes, I believe that is a reference to Bigfoot.
Ye of little faith. Like we hinted at earlier, there's lots of books on surveillance. There's one about, well, Emily, or what's that say? I can't even read it. But it basically says surveillance. One that's computer networks by Prof. David Watson. It's, Lester's obsessed with this kind of thing. Okay.
Now, Dan.
Okay.
See, now this is another hint towards, it says desert UFO on one of the big brown boxes, and out in the desert, where the big colourful mural is, we do know that there is a UFO above that point. So here's just another hint towards UFOs being in the game.
Once again, further concrete proof that what's in Lester's room is in the party. It is in GTA 5.
Yes, as long as it's written down on a box.
/ jetpack. Alright, okay. 2 archive boxes upon his shelves. One is zombie outbreaks, which now there is only one sort of identifiable zombie in GTA 5 who's not even a real zombie, he's an actor.
Yeah, from the movie set.
And you can chat with him. But again, it's whether it's a hint at that or something bigger.
Well, his other box is assassinations, which we know in the game.
That's not in the game either, is it?
Well, actually, yes.
Aha! See, I knew it was, and I was tricking you. I knew it was in the game.
It's the missions that Lester gives you, the assassination missions. You go along and he tells you to kill a guy, and then the stock prices change. It's a good way to get you into trading stock, basically. So assassinations on a box, assassinations are in the game, Bigfoot on a box, Bigfoot in the game.
See? Right, okay. Then there's, he's got like a board game or something at the top, and it says, I think it's the Rupture or the Rapture. We can actually see this much more clearly on another poster elsewhere in his room. Oh, this is a good one. This is Rockstar betraying their British roots with a reference to satirical, crass humour magazine Viz, which UK viewers will know, and the concept of a wizard's sleeve. I would look that up on Google and not ask me to say what it means.
Possibly turn safe search on.
Yeah, definitely do that. But it's probably a bit of British humour. Plus, it works because wizards have sleeves.
Yeah, and they hide things up there.
Yeah. You can also see a little FIB container box, computer virus box. Hoaxes.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Hoaxes box doesn't have a picture of a jetpack on it.
Let's find out, my friend. Interesting little numerical reference in the iHeart 3.141592 is that pie.
It is pie.
He loves pie. I love pie. Actually, like bread pie, not bread pie. Crust
just
pie.
bread pie.
I have bread pie in my house. I don't know about you.
You mean like apple pie and chicken pie?
Come on, any time for a bread pie.
Bread pie, I will.
Bread filling.
You can see on the right here the big map that obviously Lester's planning something. We're not quite sure what he's planning, but he has obviously got other plans, possibly an assassination that he's got in the works that he hasn't quite worked out how to do it yet. But there's a couple of clues on here. It's equipment that he's going to need to carry out this, or someone is going to need.
Yeah, and he says he needs binoculars, knife, rope,
cell phone,
and night something.
Yeah.
Or no, I can't read it. Please again, correct our stupid eyes. Then something that says Tretany, or you can probably you can map this exactly to where the locations are. Lies.
There's a lot of lies over there.
Yeah, and a little stick drawing of something. This would be really interesting if this does actually pan out in game. And again, this would be a relatively easy job to match this in game. Watch everything, he says. Stay here, he mentions.
Yeah, it would be good if someone watching this does want to go in, and this is quite a big section of the map. You could go and map these locations and just go and check them out and see if there's anything there. And if there is, just send us a thing in a comment in the below, or a tweet on @GTAVOclock, and it'd be really interesting, and we'll work it into next week's show.
What is Leicester planning? It's also worth noting, as I said, that poster, which is the Chasm of Rupture. So yeah, there we go. So it's a crow on a skull, one of my favourite images. Okay, he's got a few anime magazines. This is again a slightly British pun. It's Animen Only. Now in the UK, in the ye olden days, there used to be a gentleman's magazine called Men Only. So this is Animen Only. It looks like it's our favourite bubblegum Prince, whatever her name is. But yeah, I'm sure that's some slightly interesting pictures of her.
She might have some interesting poses to show you in the centrefold. And
more of the borf stroke baths. And yeah, well, okay, you can see that for yourself. That's some anal.
You don't want to comment on that, Dan?
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's for. Okay, some sort of chemistry symbols, like some compounds. You've got like an electrical circuit there. I'm no master on electric circuits, so I definitely couldn't tell you what that means, or indeed what that chemical symbol means. Maybe someone clever can say, oh, well, that's actually the symbol for blah. Some sort of carbon compound. Like we all are, in fact, so I'll shut up. Okay, hacker group faces jail time. Unlucky. And
another reference to aliens here at the top left.
Aliens took my children.
Which is probably an abduction story, again hinting towards the possibility of UFOs and being abducted in the game, like Michael does when he takes Jimmy's crazy drugs.
A couple of things here. One is a sort of sai in a presentation box, like a sword with the two-pronged edges. Again, I don't know if what that exactly alludes to, whether it's, for me, the Ninja Turtles, or indeed something.
I think it's too big for the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it probably is too big, and they're not real. And then another selection of action figures. Again, the bubblegum princess is on the floor. I don't want to even ask why. Maybe she just fell over. Okay, we see the picture of the car. Is it Ubermacht? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
And it looks like he started to draw the sort of Illuminati triangle on it in that one, bizarrely. Like, it's certainly a triangle of some description.
Yeah, whether Lester's just slightly obsessed with this and just scribbles on a lot of newspapers random thoughts that he has in his head, we don't really know. But I mean, he has drawn UFOs, and now he's starting to scribble Illuminati symbols. It could all look, and this picture here is when he's highlighted certain words. It could all add up into some big mysterious clue that we just haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, I think even I think that's not true.
Even you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe in a lot of things. Right, Avarice magazine, Minotaur Man, and this has got links to the stock market. I guess it's like a stock and investment thing, which is one of Leicester's big fancies. It's got the Borsak and the LCN logo on it. So yeah, this is the money magazine for greedy swines. 2 archive boxes, 2005 to now, 1998 to 2004. Is that any reference to like some console genre in GTA's past? I wonder.
And then finally we leave Leicester's house to a couple of gnomes there on the floor, and that is Leicester's house gone through in detail. There's quite a few interesting things in there actually, with the jetpack and the references to Bigfoot and aliens. Definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, I think there's some threads there. Please do investigate further and let us know if we've missed anything, or if you can get any more detail on some of the text we couldn't read.
Okay, so that was Leicester's house. Now, just before we go, we should let everyone know about our brilliant Friday event, which is the GTA 5 o'clock live streams on GTA Online. Last week's was a huge success. Dan really enjoyed it.
Yeah, a real roaring success where we promised you the earth and we delivered a tiny speck of dirt. Unfortunately, we sort of hoped to iron out our tech issues last week by doing something quite ambitious. Unfortunately, we hit a rick and had to abandon the live stream halfway through and restart it, losing all of the viewers and infuriating people, plus invoking the copyright wrath of YouTube. So all in all, it went really well. But don't worry, this week we've learnt our lessons. James can run through, because we've got a schedule for this week. Then we're going to explain to you how to get involved if you want to and how to join our crew. So do you want to run through what we're doing on Friday at 4 PM GMT UK time?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what format we're definitely playing on. It's likely to be PS3 again, just while we get things locked, but we will also be playing on 360 because I know a lot of people are asking that.
Yeah.
It's likely this week will be PS3 just to ensure we don't get in any more tech woes.
Yeah, and we'll probably be sticking with the GTA 5 o'clock Shadows crew for this as well, just for familiarity and to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible.
Yeah, just quickly, if you want to join one of our crews, we have 3 crews on the Rockstar Social Club. One is like the first one we had was the GTA 5 o'clock crew, just that.
Yeah.
And its initials are OCLK. That's the one that I'm like nominally the leader of, even though I've got to admit family commitments mean I'm not on it as often as I would like, and people have called me naughty names on the thing.
Oh, no.
I'm really genuinely sorry. We're looking at it. The other day I did send out invites to a load of people to populate the 3 or 4 remaining spaces. Apologies again if people haven't got in these crews. I've got 3,000 pending requests to sift.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to prioritise who to put in. I think we're probably, as things develop and we get through our tech woes, we'll find a meritocratic system to get people in. We've also got the Shadows crew, which is OCLS.
Yep.
And then we've got the Gravels, which started as our joke crew, but isn't that now fully staffed?
Yeah, I think now that's 300 as well. Now, yeah, as Dan said, they've all got a lot of pending requests, and how we cycle through these requests and put people in and take people out of crews is something we're really going to have to nail down and sort out. But for now, if you just keep at it, we will try and cycle people through and hopefully get you involved in some of the live streams and into our actual crews while we're playing. So the live stream on Friday, yeah, as Dan said, 4 PM GMT. We'd like, right up front, the crew colour is green for the GTA 5 o'clock Shadows. We'd like everyone to wear like some green clothing and spray their car green, just so when we're doing stuff together we look like a proper uniformed crew.
Is there not a defined outfit, but it's got to be green themed?
I think for now, let's not get too ambitious. Let's go,
right.
Wear something green, make your car green or your bike green, or wear like
I
a
would
nice
say,
green suit.
to make it proper, 100% green.
As green as you can.
Go as green as you can. Not like environmentally, I mean actually. Go green, and then when we all meet up, it should make for a like dancing grass or something.
Now hopefully we are going to try and meet everyone we invite in at the casino / racetrack, which is the thing in the east side of Los Santos. It's the big circular track thing. It's where the blimp spawns if you got the pre-order pack. So hopefully we'll be able to meet everyone there. We'll all be dressed in green. We'll all have brilliant things, so we can make a nice opening shot of everyone with their cars.
And you say to be invited, you're going to have to be a member of the Shadows.
Yeah.
So it will be like obviously only 16 people can play at any one time in GTA anyway, so it's always going to be a select invite thing. We'd love every single person who watches to play, but unfortunately Rockstar haven't invented a 20,000 person server or whatever it is. So I mean, it's obviously going to be selective, but in terms of watching it, hey, the more people the merrier. It all helps, and in fact we definitely need your input on the day.
In terms of what we're going to be doing on the stream, we've got the next part of our bounty hunter success, which Dan had a go at last week. Did reasonably well, got about 3 minutes or something. So what we do is we put a bounty on someone's head, whether it be someone that's playing here or someone that we want to go and chase, and then we see how long they can survive before everyone else in the server goes and assassinates them. It's
an on-running challenge. We do this every single week now. It's called Bounty Hunter, as James says. We put money on someone's head. You've got to that person has to survive for as long as they can. Then their time is recorded. I set the bar extremely high last week with my mad skills. Now, James and Ian, or one of them, will have a go this week at trying to do it, and then we will invite in members of the community and like celebrity YouTubers and people to, you know, face up to 15 other men and survive as long as they can. We will create a leaderboard. This will be on running. Hey, who knows, maybe we'll have a little special prize for the top survival time, but that will happen every single week.
Yeah, and then moving on from that, we're going to have a team mission, something like a 4-on-4 and 8-on-8 type thing. We haven't quite nailed down which one yet. The one definitely won't be the one we did last week, because that one was a like one death ends the game, and that wasn't very fun for anyone. So it'll be a more fun, unlimited lives type, get the case back to the mission hideout or something like that. And then at the end we'll have a team event. Now, Dan tried parachuting last week and just plummeted off a cliff, which to much hilarity and definitely not annoyance from anyone else. So we might try that again. We might try and jump off a bridge. It'll probably be parachute based, so if you need time to go and buy a parachute and get leveled up so you can get one, you've got a couple of days now But hopefully that'll be a giant spectacle at the end. And if that doesn't work, we should have our stimulus money by then. So we're going to buy the most expensive apartment in the game and invite everyone in for a little online party.
I think we should try to recreate something stupid, like all wear our green. Again, James hasn't stipulated the shade of green, so it could be shades of green. We'll find out. But we could try and do it. Like, you can't do many actions when you're inside a property, but you still can perform things like your smoking action, can't you?
Yeah.
So we could all agree an action and do it in a sort of line dancing motion with 6 moving forward, 6 moving back, almost like a sort of smoking Gangnam style, dressed in various shades of green. So I think that could be quite amusing. That to me seems like an idea.
Yeah.
If you're up for that, yeah, join us Friday on the CVG YouTube channel.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, and if you don't want to miss it, please subscribe. And again, check out the Cruise Social Club. If there's a space, you know, we'll invite it out.
Finally then, Dan, quickly, if people want to win one of our GTA 5 goodie bags,
Of course you do.
how do they do that?
They do that by leaving a comment explaining why we should give them a goodie bag below, liking the video by pressing the like button, and subscribing if they don't subscribe already by pressing the dun subscribe button.
That's right.
It's really complicated. Now, we announced the winner of last week's goodie bag on last week's live stream.
Yes, we did. He has been contacted and his goodie bag will be with him very soon. But we do have 4 more, I think, Dan, to give away.
Yeah, 4 more goodie bags to give away. They're really genuinely cracking.
Yeah, they're
loads
really
of
good.
great GTA merchandise.
There's t-shirts, keyrings, lighters, chop toys, everything. Like yoga mats.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, I genuinely would like one, and there's loads of stuff in there you would use, even as a discreet, grown-up human being. There's loads of cool stuff there. So, yeah, do check that out. As I said, that's how to enter. And I think that kind of wraps up what we've got this week. I've got some other cool things, but I'm going to save them for next Wednesday at 5 PM GMT on the regular GTA 5 o'clock show.
Excellent. As Dan says, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you hopefully all on Friday, and if not, back here next week.